So this is what I'm using today. I'm actually using store-bought dessert for babies. I always wanted to try that and see if it actually works for pancakes. And I'm just, I'm just trying to get it out. And this damn thing won't come out of the jar. And when I was editing this, I was laughing so hard. I'm like, I still can't get it out. I'm like almost upset. I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm just taking a spoon. Yeah, and yeah, I just like had to scoop it out with this spoon. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, focus. Yeah, but I got it eventually out, and something fell on the floor. I'm such a klutz. I'm such a klutz in the kitchen, but I just love doing this. Anyways, I just stirred it up a little bit because it was very, very, very lumpy. So next step is we are using some oat flour. I made it myself. I just took some regular rolled oats and put it in a blender and just blend it up to flour. And I'm using about a cup here. That should be enough. And I'm using a tablespoon of baking powder. You can use baking soda if you want. And a pinch of salt. And then I'm using my spice mix here. I'm going to show you that in another recipe. What it contains is very good for the stomach, actually. It starts working with the spice mix. I use about a teaspoon of it. You can use more or less. It tastes kind of like gingerbread-ish. Yeah. I'm using about 2 cups of oat milk here. You can basically use whatever you have on hand. You can use regular dairy, coconut, almond, yeah, whatever you prefer. Now this batter gets very thick. We like it thicker, especially when they're apple pancakes. I don't know why, we just do. But if you want, you can use you can put in some more uh, milk or even water and to blend it out to make it a little bit looser if you want. And I'm using a griddle for this. It's a lot easier. Yeah, so we just fry them up. Okay, so we are moving on to lunch right now. Just put out a cutting board and I'm going to slice up some tomatoes. And here I have actually some homemade cottage cheese. I'm going to show you in a separate video how I make my cottage cheese. It's actually very, very quick. I make mine in the microwave, but we'll get back to that a little bit later in another video. So now the next step is that I'm going to take some minced salmon. I'm going to show you how I make my minced salmon. So we're going to be putting in about half a cup of that. Okay, this is how I make my minced salmon. I just put some olive oil. You can use any type of oil. We actually have minced salmon. I'm not sure if you have that, but if you can buy it ready. But you can just put it in a processor and just, yeah. And then I added some onions, some garlic, and some parsley. And I have some bouillon in there, vegetable bouillon, and I just fry it up. Okay, now we just add about half a cup of salmon, and we add our tomatoes. Then I also add some olives. If you don't like olives, you don't have to add that. Some fresh spinach. I love fresh spinach. And just about a handful or so. And a boiled egg. I love boiled eggs. Just peel it, and then I use an egg cutter for this. I just put it sideways and lengthways, and I just cut it like that. I think it's a lot easier than taking a knife. So I just put it in there, and you just mix it. Now after you mix those ingredients, you add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, or 1, that's actually up to you how much oil you want to use. And I use some black pepper, and then I put in some salt after taste. You can use how little or how much. Now, this is actually caviar in a tube. I don't know if any other countries have this, but our caviar here in Sweden, it tastes very sweet and salty. It's actually very good, but I don't know if any other countries have that. Okay, then I added about a half teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder, half teaspoon, and a teaspoon of dill. Dill makes such a difference in this dish. It's amazing. And then you just mix it up. More pepper. Definitely. Okay, let's head for dinner. Now I'm taking I'm taking some wax beans, and I put it in a sieve like this, and over a saucepan. I just like it that way. And then I'm going to be using some brown rice vermicelli, and I put some hot water in the saucepan, and then I covered this with a lid. So you can basically do it like that too. It's easy. And these noodles, they're kind of like those quick noodles that you can buy. Like put it in hot water and let it like sit for a couple of minutes. It's basically the same things with these brown rice. So I'm taking a full portion there and putting some hot water over it, and then I'm going to cover it up with a lid, and I just let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes about. Okay, then I'm adding some olive oil to a pan. Just heat it up, and I am frying up my trout. And now we'll just decorate it with some tomatoes, some cucumbers. Then I add my wax beans, and of course, with some lemon and our noodles. And in my noodles, I added some. You can add soy sauce. I added some tamari sauce because usually the soy sauce contains wheat, and I am gluten intolerant, so tamari sauce is like the easiest choice, and it tastes nice. And that's basically it, and this is like awesome. These simple dinners, they're like so easy to make and so clean. So I just love clean food. You always know what you put in your food. And yeah, enjoy, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.